Hello guys, welcome to Study for Civil Services. In this video we will see NCERT Class 8 Geography Chapter 3, and previously we have covered all the chapters of NCERT Class 6 Geography and all the chapters of NCERT Class 7 Geography, and in the coming videos we will cover NCERT from Class 6 to Class 12 for Geography, History, Economy and Polity. And these NCERT books are very important for all the competitive exams and most important for all the civil services exams, PCS exams, and we will also cover NCERT exercises given at the end of the chapter. So let's start this mineral and power resources. First of all, we should know that mineral is a natural is it's natural mineral is a naturally occurring substance and it has a definite chemical composition. So any naturally occurring substance that has a definite chemical composition is known as mineral, and minerals are not evenly distributed over space, and they are concentrated in a particular area or particular rock formations. We will see that metallic minerals are concentrated in igneous and metamorphic rocks, and then non-metallic minerals are concentrated in sedimentary rocks. And mineral fuels like coal and petroleum, they are also concentrated in sedimentary rocks. And if you see that some minerals are found in areas and that areas are not easily accessible. For example, Arctic Ocean and Antarctic. They are also having a lot of minerals, and but they are very far away from the continents that actually own the people, and that is why they are very difficult to access, and they are also very difficult for the transportation. And if you see that minerals are formed in actually different type of geological environments and under varying conditions, they are created by natural processes without any human interference, and they could be divided into various types and their properties, physical properties such as color, density, hardness, and chemical properties such as solubility. These are also the basis of their identification. And minerals are, we in the daily life also we use many types of minerals like the salt in our food and the graphite in our pencil are also minerals. And if you divide the minerals, the type of minerals, they are broadly divided into two types. First is metallic and second is non-metallic. Metallic minerals contain metal, and metals are actually hard substances conduct heat and electricity and have a characteristic luster or shine. For example, iron ore, bauxite, manganese, these are some of the examples of metallic mineral. And metallic mineral can be further divided into ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous means iron is present and non-ferrous means iron is not present. Ferrous means iron ore, manganese, chromites. So if these three are present, the minerals are known as ferrous. And non-ferrous does not contain iron at all, and non-ferrous may contain some other metals such as gold, silver, copper, and lead. And if you see like minerals, they do not contain metals, and they could be limestone, mica, and gypsum. So limestone, mica, and gypsum are the examples of non-metallic minerals. And mineral fuels like coal and petroleum, they are also non-metallic minerals. So non-metallic minerals could be limestone, mica, gypsum, plus coal and petroleum. And this is a fact that actually an aggregate of one or more minerals, but without any definite composition of constituent of minerals. And the rocks from which minerals are mined, they are known as ores. And if you see, actually more than 2008 type of minerals have been identified, but only 100 of them are considered ore minerals. Ore means the rocks from which minerals are mined. For example, iron. So these are known as ore minerals. And there are various process of extraction of minerals. If mineral is present at the surface only, then quarrying could be used. Then mining is the another process of extraction of mineral, and the process of taking out minerals from rocks buried under the earth surface is called mining. And minerals that lie at the shallow depth are taken out by removing the surface layer. This is known as open cast mining. Open cast means just by taking the mineral out by removing the surface layer. And if some deep bores known as shafts have to be made to reach the mineral deposits that lie at the great depth, this is known as shaft mining. And petroleum and natural gas actually occur very far below the earth's surface, and that is why deep wells are bored to take them out, and this is known as drilling. And I've already told you that minerals that lie very near to the surface, they are simply dug out by the process known as quarrying. So there are three types of process for extraction of minerals. First is quarrying. If the mineral lie very near to the surface, they could be simply dug out. Then second was the mining. If the mineral lie at the shallow depth, they could be taken out by the open cast mining. And if they lie at some more depth, then deep pores, and they are known as shafts. They need they used to take out mineral from the greater heights. And then for the mineral fuels like coal and petroleum, drilling process is used. And if you see the distribution of minerals, minerals occur in different type of rocks. And please remember two facts: that metallic minerals generally found in the igneous rocks and also in the metamorphic rocks. But the non-metallic minerals and minerals, they could be generally found in the sedimentary rocks. And generally, see, this is written here also. So generally metallic minerals are found in the igneous and metamorphic rock formation. Please remember this fact. And that form very large plateaus. So from the plateau areas, generally igneous and metamorphic rocks are found. And from the plateau areas, metallic minerals could be extracted. For example, the areas of the iron ore in the North Sweden, copper and nickel deposit in Ontario, Canada, then iron, nickel, chromites and platinum in South Africa. These are all the examples of minerals found in the igneous and metamorphic rocks. And also remember that sedimentary rock formations of plain and young fold mountains, they always contain non-metallic limestone and limestone deposit of Caucasus region of France, then manganese deposit of Georgia, Ukraine, and phosphate beds of Algeria. These are some of the examples of the non-metal minerals. Plus mineral fuels such as coal and petroleum, they are also found in the sedimentary area. This is a fact written in the "Do You Know" section, that if a rock looks blue in color, and now it is given continent-wise, see Asia, China, and India have large iron ore deposits, and Asia continent produces more than half of the world's iron. See in this figure, the potential of iron ore, and then copper reserves, and the nickel reserves are given. So you can see iron ore deposits, and iron ore are also present in USA, in North America continent, then inland, then some parts of Africa also, and there are also. But if you see that copper in the South America, parts of North America, then Africa, but copper is not present in the India, but not in the major form. And then there are some of the bauxite. Bauxite is the for aluminium. And if you see in Asia, China, Malaysia, and Indonesia are among the world. And China also leads in production of lead, antimony, and tungsten. There is deposit of manganese, bauxite, nickel, zinc. Now, if you see the other continent, that is Europe, Europe is the leading producer of iron ore in the world, and the countries with large deposits of iron ore, Ukraine, Sweden, and France, and mineral deposits of copper, lead, zinc, manganese, and nickel are found in the Eastern Europe and European Russia. See, Russia is spread in two continents. Russia, some parts of the Russia is considered in the Europe also, and major part of the Russia is considered in the Asia also. So there could be two terms like European Russia or Asian Russia. And this is the fact that Switzerland has no known mineral deposit in it. See other continent, that is North America. There are three minerals in the North America. North region is known as Canadian region, and that is north of the Great Lakes. And then East region is known as Appalachian region, and then mountainous region ranges of West is also the third region. And we can find various type of minerals deposit of iron ore, nickel, gold, uranium, and these are found in the Canadian Shield region, is found in the Appalachian, and then Western Cordilleras, a vast deposit of copper, lead, zinc, gold, and silver. This oil and coal around the globe. See, North America of coal, then India is also having one of the largest reserve of coal. Then if you see the mineral oil portion in the North America, Northern Africa, and some part of USA and in South America, the largest reserves of mineral oil, and also the Russia, Venezuela, and the Saudi Arabia. These are the major places in the oil. And then we will come to in this continent, Brazil is the largest producer of high-grade iron ore in the world, and Chile and Peru are the leading producer of copper. Please remember this that Chile and Peru are the largest producers of copper, and Brazil and Bolivia are among the world's largest producer of tin. And South America also have large deposits of gold, silver, zinc, chromium, manganese, bauxite, mica, platinum, asbestos, and diamond. And I've already told you that mineral oil is also found in Venezuela, Argentina, Chile, and Peru and Colombia. In fact, if you see that in Venezuela, the highest oil reserves is found in the highest potential of oil reserve is found in the Venezuela. And then Africa is actually very rich in mineral resources, and it is the world's largest producer of diamond, gold, and platinum. And some of the largest producer of gold are South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. And then other minerals are also found in Africa, like copper, iron ore, then chromium, uranium, cobalt, and bauxite. And oil is also found in the Africa region, in the Nigeria, Libya, and Angola. And this is the fact that a green diamond is the rarest diamond, and oldest rocks in the world are in the Western Australia. See, around 4.5 billion years ago, or 4,300 million years ago, and the rocks found in the Australia were old, were dated only, no, were dated 4,300 million years ago, means only 300 million years after the Earth was formed. Then we come to the Australia, the leading Australia is the largest producer of bauxite in the world. Please remember this fact. This could be asked in any type of competitive exam. Australia is the largest producer of bauxite, and also Australia is having the largest reserve of uranium in the world, and it is a leading producer of gold, diamond, iron ore, tin, and nickel, and it is also rich in copper, lead, zinc, and manganese. And most important and most famous regions of Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie areas of Western Australia, they are actually large deposits of gold. So the largest deposit of gold in Australia is found in the Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie areas of the Western Australia. Then if you come to Antarctica, the geology of Antarctica is sufficiently well known to prove that the existence of a variety of mineral deposits. And if you see significant size of deposits of coal in the trans-Antarctic mountains and iron found near the Prince Charles Mountain of the East Antarctica, and also iron ore, gold, silver, and oil are present in commercial quantities. These are some of the mineral distribution in all the and if you see the distribution of minerals in the India, there are various type of minerals like iron, bauxite, mica, copper, manganese, limestone, gold, and salt. And if you see iron ore, then India has actually deposits of high grade iron ore, and this mineral is found mainly in Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Goa, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. Actually, Chota Nagpur region and some of the regions of the Dharwad, they are very famous for the iron ore. Then bauxite, all the coastal area regions and are known for bauxite reserves, and major bauxite producing areas are Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, MP, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. And if you see mica deposits mainly occur in Jharkhand, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, and Rajasthan. And India is the largest producer and exporter of mica in the world. And if you see copper is also found in India in some parts of Rajasthan, MP, Jharkhand, Karnataka, and AP. And manganese also found in Maharashtra, MP, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. See what we'll do that we will come up with a video explaining the major producer of all these minerals in the coming days. So please keep checking our channel. And if you see limestone, major limestone producing states are Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, MP, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu. And in India, some of the areas are also having coal deposits like Kolar in Karnataka. Kolar in Karnataka is famous for deposits of gold, and this is the fact that these mines are among the deepest in the world, and which makes mining of this ore a very expensive process. And then salt is obtained from the seas, lakes, and rocks. And India is one of the world's leading producers and exporter of salt. And this figure 3.8 explains the extraction of salt from the Sambar Lake in Rajasthan, and uses of mineral in various forms, various industries, gems and jewelries, then coins and pipes, copper is used, then silicon is used in computer industry, and aluminum, which obtained from its ore bauxite, is used in automobiles, automobile sheets, vehicle sheets, aeroplanes, bottling industry, building, and even in kitchen cookware. See, minerals are a non-renewable resource because it takes thousands of years for the formation and concentration of minerals, and the rate of formation is much smaller than the rate at which humans are consuming. So it is necessary to reduce wastage and to adopt 3R philosophy. And 3R philosophy is very famous, and it is used for the conservation of water, mineral, and in any form of conservation. 3R means reduce, we need to reduce our consumption, then reuse. We should try to reuse the things. We should not create wastage and then recycle. So reduce, reuse, recycle, they are very important for the conservation of the minerals. Now we'll see some of the power resources. Power is very important and it plays a vital role in our lives because we need power for everything, for industry, for agriculture, for transport, for communication, for defense. And power sources may be broadly classified into two categories. First is conventional and second is non-conventional. Conventional means that have been in use for a long time. For example, firewood and fossil fuels. So firewood and fossil fuels are two main conventional energy sources. Firewood means, some wood collected from the forest and just burn it directly, and it is widely used for the cooking and heating. And in our country, more than 50% of the energy used by villagers come from the firewood. And fossil fuel, they actually come from the remains of plants and animals which were buried under the earth for millions of years, and they got converted into heat and pressure into the fossil fuels. If plant is buried, coal will be formed, and if animals and other lives will be buried, then oil will be formed. And fossil fuels, fossil means the remains. Okay, and that is why fossil fuel means the fuel that is formed from the plants or animals. And fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum, and natural gas, these are the main sources of conventional energy. And reserves of these minerals are limited, and because the rate at which the growing world population is consuming them is far greater than the rate of formation, so they could be exhausted very soon. And now we'll see that some of the conventional sources. First, we have saw firewood, then coal. Coal is the most abundantly found fossil fuel, and it is used as domestic fuel in industries such as iron and steel, steam engine, and also to generate electricity. And the electricity which is generated from the coal is known as thermal power. And the coal which we are using today was formed millions of years ago when giant ferns and swamps got buried under the layers of earth. And that is why coal is known as buried sunshine. So buried sunshine, coal is known as buried sunshine because the coal which are using today, it could be found millions of years ago. So it got buried. That is why it is known as buried sunshine. Leading coal producers of world are China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa, and France. And coal producing areas of India are Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad, and Bokaro. So please remember these four areas. These are very important for the competitive exams. Raniganj, Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad, and Bokaro in Jharkhand are famous for the coal reserves. Talk about petroleum. Petroleum means rock oil because petroleum is made up from two words. Petra means rock and oleum means oil. So petroleum is rock oil, and it actually found as it begins as its journey as a very thick black liquid that is known as crude oil or petroleum, and it is found between the layers of rocks and is drilled from the oil fields located in the offshore and coastal areas. And petroleum is found in the sedimentary rocks, and this is then this black thick liquid is then sent to the refineries which process the crude oil and produce a variety of products such as diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics, and lubricants. And petroleum and its derivatives are known as black gold because they are very valuable. And chief petroleum producing countries are Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, and all the major countries of Middle East, Western Asia, and North Africa. And other major producers are USA, Russia, Venezuela, and Algeria. And if we talk about the leading producers in India, are the Digboy in Assam, Bombay in Mumbai, and deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. But if you see currently the production from the Digboy refinery in Assam is very much reduced, and even some people are talking about the closing of this refinery. And then come the third conventional source, that is natural gas. It is actually found with the petroleum deposits and is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. It could be used as domestic or industrial fuel. Some of the major producers of natural gas are Russia, Norway, UK, and Netherlands. And in India, Jaisalmer, KG means Krishna Godavari Delta, and Tripura. So these three areas are the some of the areas where natural gas could be found, and also some areas of the Mumbai, offshore Mumbai have some reserves, and very few countries in the world have sufficient natural gas reserves of their own. And the sharp increase in our consumption of fossil fuels have led to their depletion, and also toxic pollutants released from their burning. So these are some of the causes of concern, and we need to check the burning of fossil fuel, and we need to look for cleaner alternative to fossil fuels. And these days CNG is very popular because it is considered eco-friendly automobile, as it causes less pollution than petroleum and diesel. But from some news, it is written in some of the news that CNG produces some of the very harmful particles. So it could not be compared that it is very less polluted than petroleum and diesel. Then hydel power, if you consider that rainwater or river water stored in the dams, they are actually made to fall from height. So the potential energy of the water is converted into the kinetic energy, and falling water flows through the pipes inside the dam, and it turns the turbine blade. So the potential energy of water is converted into kinetic energy, so it will have the velocity, and this velocity will be used to run the turbine, and the moving blade then turn the generator, and the electricity will be produced, and this is known as hydroelectricity. And the water discharge after the generation of electricity is used for the irrigation. And one-fourth of the world's electricity is actually produced by hydropower. And the leading power producers of hydropower in the world are Paraguay, Norway, Brazil, and China. And some of the important hydropower stations in India are then Gandhi Sagar, then Nagarjuna Sagar, and Damodar Valley projects. These are some of the conventional energy resources. And this is the fact that Norway was the first country in the world to develop hydroelectricity. And if you see the advantages and disadvantages of these conventional sources of energy, see oil advantage is that it is easier to transport and basis of petrochemical industry. And natural gas advantages are easier to transport because these days pipelines have been developed, and it is cleaner than oil and coal and cheaper than oil. But there are disadvantages from oil and natural gas because the depletion of oxygen in the process of extraction of oil and natural gas, and also due to oil spillage and gas, and pollutants could also be reduced during and acid rain. And then exploration of new fuel is not very easy because it requires a lot of capital, lot of fund, lot of machinery, lot of manpower. Then firewood, it also have advantages and some disadvantages, like the easy access then provide energy to a large number of people. Then disadvantage are that collection is very time consuming, polluting, greenhouse effect is promoting deforestation, coal is extensively available, and then efficient conversion to electricity. So these are some of the advantages. And then coal is like oil and natural gas, and it pollutes environment, and it is very bulky to transport. And the fourth conventional source of energy is hydel, that and its advantage are that it is non-polluting, it promotes irrigation and fishing, and it is very cheap. But there are some of the disadvantages of tidal energy also, like displacement of local community, and it inundates low and it is very expensive to set up. And also there are some of the other disadvantages of the hydropower because it actually block the natural flow of the water, and it also affect the biodiversity of the region, and it also displaced a lot of people, lot of poor people. So these are some of the conventional energy sources of the power. And because of the exhaustion of coal and petroleum, the governments around the globe are now looking forward for the non-conventional sources of energy because the fossil fuel is increasing and uses is increasing, and because of the overpopulation and because of the high demand, the shortage is occurred, and also the consumption rate increased. And if this present rate of consumption continues, the reserves of few of the fuels will be exhausted very soon. And also these fossil fuels are creating a lot of environmental population pollution, and also creating some of the problems like global warming and climate change. And climate change effects are felt worldwide, and therefore this is need for using non-conventional sources. And these could be solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, and these are renewable also. If you see solar energy, actually sun's heat and light energy can be felt by us every day, and this solar energy can be trapped from the sun and could be used in the solar cells to produce electricity. And if you join many of these cells, they could form a solar panel, and this could be used for generating power and for heating and lighting purpose. And the technology of utilizing solar energy benefits a lot of tropical countries because tropical countries get the direct sunlight, and they are blessed with abundant sunlight. And these days solar energy also is also used in heaters, cookers, dryers, besides used for community lighting. And figure 3.717 is actually showing some of the solar panels to trap solar energy. Second, non-conventional is wind energy. It is actually an inexhaustible source of energy, and windmills have been used for grinding grain and lifting water since time immemorial. And because these windmills are being used from the very ancient time, and in modern time also windmills, the high speed wind rotates the windmill, and that is connected to the generator, and then electricity is produced. See, to produce electricity we just need to rotate the turbine, and we can rotate the turbine by anything. If we rotate the turbine by using the velocity of the falling water, then it is known as tidal energy. If we rotate the turbine by the speed of the wind, it is known as wind energy. There are other forms also. So we in every electricity generation we just need to rotate the turbine. An initial word of the power source is actually telling that which type of source is used for the turning the turbine. And if this is wind energy, wind farms such windmills are located in coastal regions. See, this wind energy, actually windmills are located in coastal regions and in mountain passes, because these energy, these windmills needs high velocity, and high velocity could be found only in the coastal regions because of the sea bridges and land bridges, and then also in the mountain places where strong and steady wind blows. And wind farms are found in Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, UK, USA, and Spain. Then third energy, non-conventional energy could be nuclear power, and it is obtained from the energy stored in the nuclei of the atoms of naturally occurring radioactive elements such as uranium, plutonium, thorium. And these fuels undergo nuclear fission in nuclear reactors and emit power. And the greatest producers of nuclear power are USA, Europe, and in India also Rajasthan and Jharkhand have some of the deposits of thorium. And India is also largest. India is the largest reserve of for thorium, and thorium is found in the monazite sands of the Kayland. As per the current affairs, the highest thorium reserves are found in Andhra Pradesh and then some of the parts of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And if you see the site of world's first solar and wind powered bus shelter is in Scotland. This is the fact. This is the do you know section of NCERT, and we were talking about the nuclear power. If you see the nuclear power stations in India, there are 8 nuclear power stations these days, because the numbers are increasing day by day, because government of India has recently raised the target from the nuclear energy also. Like the government of India has raised the target to generate 175 gigawatt by 2022 from the solar, wind, biogas, and small hydro plants, and it also has increased the target of from the nuclear energy. So power plants are actually located in Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, then Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar in Rajasthan, Narora in UP, and Kaiga in Karnataka. This is the figure 3.19. It is showing heat from the nuclear fission, and it is showing the electricity generation from the nuclear energy. See, in this figure also, we just need to rotate the turbine, or we will rotate the turbine in this figure. See, we will do actually the nuclear fission process is used in the nuclear energy generation. So nuclear fission will release a lot of heat, and that is why the water will become heated, and then steam will be generated, and then steam will actually rotate the turbine, and the electricity will be produced. And fourth conventional source could be also geothermal energy, because a lot of heat energy obtained from the earth, from the inside of the earth, because of the continuous mantle magma produced in the mantle, and then it comes to the surface in the form of lava. And because of other geographical processes also, the temperature in the interior of the earth rises steadily, will go deeper, and sometimes this heat energy may also surface itself in the form of the hot springs, like you might have seen in the Manikaran, and also some of the places of Jammu Kashmir. And this heat energy can be used to generate power, and this geothermal energy in the form of hot springs has been used for cooking, heating, and bathing for several. And worldwide, USA has the world's largest geothermal power plants, followed by New Zealand, Iceland, then Philippines and Central America. And in India, geothermal plants are located in Manikaran in HP, Himachal Pradesh, and Pugavar in Ladakh. And in this process also, we need to just rotate the turbine. So hot water from the inside of the earth will be connected to the pipe, and then this pipe, you know, will the steam will be generated, and then this steam will be rotating the turbine, and that is then the electricity will be produced. And the last form of non-conventional source is the second last form of the source for the power is the tidal energy, because energy could also be generated from the tides, and this energy is known as tidal energy. And tidal energy can be harnessed by building dams at narrow openings of the sea, and because the tides come in high tide and low tide form. So during the high tide, the energy of the tides is used to turn the turbine. In this energy also, we need to just rotate the turbine. So the turbine will be rotated when the high tide will come, and when high tide will come, during the high tide, the energy of the tides is used to turn the turbine installed in the dam to produce electricity. And Russia, France, and Gulf of Kutch in India have huge tidal mill farms. This is the figure showing the low tide and high tide level. So during the high tide, the turbine will be rotated, and during the low tide, the water will be released. So low tidal energy is used to produce electricity, and these tidal energy could be generated. This setup could be installed in the coastal areas like the Gulf of Kutch and Gulf of Khambat. They are the potential areas for the tidal energy. Last form of the non-conventional energy is biogas. See various type of organic waste such as dead plants, animals, vegetables, animal dung, and the kitchen waste. They could be converted into gaseous fuel known as biogas. And the organic waste is actually decomposed by a bacteria in biogas digesters, and they emit biogas, which is a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide. And biogas is an excellent fuel for cooking and lighting, and it also produces huge amount of organic manure each year. So it could also be used in help in the it could also be used in promoting organic farming. So we can see that energy is everywhere, but we can just harness this energy in both difficulty as well as costly, and each one of us should not waste energy and we should try to save energy. This is the diagram 3.23 of the biogas. In this also, you know, we need to collect all the wastes, and then through the bacteria, these waste could be decomposed and the methane and carbon dioxide gas will be released, and also some of the organic manure will be released. This could be also used for the generation of the biogas. And if you see some of the advantages and disadvantages of non-conventional sources of energy, you can see that in the wind energy, advantages are it is non-polluting, then low cost, then safe and clean. But some of the disadvantages are that the noise pollution, then costly, and then also disturb radio and TV signal and harmful for the birds. Solar energy advantages are inexhaustible because solar sunlight is an infinite, unlimited, and also non-polluting. But the disadvantages or the some of the restriction in developing the solar energy are that it is expensive and it needs a lot of capital fund, and also it is a diffuse source so gets wasted also. Then the tidal energy advantages are that it is non-polluting, it is inexhaustible, and then some of the disadvantages that it destroys wildlife habitat and it is very difficult to harness. And in the nuclear energy, advantages are small amount of nuclear fuel can emit large amount of energy, but disadvantages are also many because it generates radioactive waste and it is very harmful and dangerous, and also it is very expensive, and also there are chances of accidents in the nuclear energy, and there are various type of disasters also that have occurred in the past. Then biogas, if you see, advantages are that low cost, easy to operate, and makes use of bio waste. And there are disadvantages also because it causes the release of methane and carbon dioxide, which indirectly helps in producing the greenhouse effect. Then geothermal energy, the advantages are that it is clean, eco-friendly, and always available. And disadvantages are that it is located far away from the cities, and so it is very costly to transport the electricity. Now see the exercises. So we'll solve these exercises. Name any three common minerals that is used by you every day. Any minerals like toothpaste, salt, flour, then petrol. There are a lot of minerals. Then what is an ore? Ore is an rock from which a mineral could be extracted. And where are the ores of metallic minerals generally located? They are located in the igneous and metamorphic rocks. Then name two countries rich in natural gas resources. These are the Russia, Iran, Iraq, and there are various natural gas resources. Then which sources of energy would you suggest for the first of all is rural areas. In the rural areas, a lot of organic waste is there, so biogas could be option. Then solar energy could also be option, and hyd- hydel energy could also be option because a lot of rivers are there. Then coastal areas, tidal energy could be option. Then arid areas, arid regions, solar energy could be option, and wind energy also could be option in this. Then give 5 ways in which you can save energy at home. You can this could be done by you because there are a lot of energy saving techniques like switch off the power when not in use. Then don't waste water, don't waste light, electricity, and various type of ways could be written here. Then if you see pick the correct answer. None of the following is not a characteristic of minerals. C is the option because they are exhaustible, and it is written that they are inexhaustible. So this is not correct. So first option is C. Then second, which one of the following is not a producer of mica? We have seen in the chapter that Karnataka didn't didn't came in the producer list of the mica. Then so second option would be B. Which one of the following is the leading producer of copper in the world? I've told you. Please remember this fact that Chile is the leading producer of copper in the world. Chile and Peru. Then one of the following practices will not conserve LPG in your kitchen. D would be the option if you read all the options correctly. Then D, that is cooking food in an open pan kept on low flame. It is an option and it will not conserve the LPG. Then give reasons. Environmental aspects must be carefully looked into before building huge dams because in the dam making process, you know, it will affect biodiversity and it will affect the aquatic species, and it will also block the natural flow of the water, and natural flow of the river could also be blocked. And because these dams, the water is released as per their maintenance and control, so sediment keep collecting. And sometimes because these dams are being made to control the flood and drought, but sometimes the irony is that sometimes because of these dams flood could come in the nearby areas. So that is why environmental aspects must be carefully looked. Then most industries are concentrated around coal mines because see the factors for the development of industries, there are four factors like capital, land, labor, and then energy also. So we need to get energy for the industries, and if they are concentrated along coal mines, they could easily extract coal, and that could be used to produce electricity, and that could be used to produce power, and that is very necessary essential for the industries. Then petroleum is referred to as black gold because it is very valuable, and quarrying can become a major environmental concern because quarrying is just take out mineral from the surface. So if you extract mineral by this way, that is quarrying, and it could release a lot of harmful gases. It could also produce a lot of waste, a lot of dust particles like PM 2.5 and other particles in the nearby areas. So it is becoming a major environmental concern. And if you see the fourth question, that is distinguish between the following. Conventional means the energy which we have been using from the long time, like firewood, then coal, oil, natural gas, then hydro energy. Non-conventional means the energy which is new in the form, and we were not using it from the long time, and but it could be developed in the coming days because of the exhaustion of the conventional sources of energy. And the non-conventional sources examples are solar, nuclear, biogas, geothermal, tidal wind energy. Then second is biogas and natural gas. Biogas is produced from the organic manure, organic waste. Natural gas is actually produced from the sedimentary rocks, and it is produced during the process of the extraction of petroleum and crude oil, and it is actually found in the ports of, and it is found with the petroleum and crude oil. Then ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous means the minerals contain iron ore, chromite, and manganese. Non-ferrous don't contain these type of, and non-ferrous could be non-metallic also. Non-ferrous do not contain ferrous, then chromite and manganese. Then metallic and non-metallic. Metallic means the metal should be present like iron, aluminum, copper. The non-metallic could be limestone, gypsum, mica, and then also mineral fuels like coal and petroleum. So this is the end of this chapter 3, and in the coming videos we will cover all the remaining 3 chapters of the class 8 NCERT geography, and we will also cover NCERT from class 6 to class 12 for geography, polity, economy and history. And we have covered a lot of videos for GK, GS, current affairs, and also we have started a pen drive course, 32 GB pen drive course plus email updates. So you can get all the material required for the GS in the video, PPT, PDF form, plus daily email updates for current affairs, for GS, for the Hindu summary, for NCERT summary, for NIUS summary, plus test series for pre and mains. All at the, all could be found at one place. So for more information, you could see our page, or you could also visit our website. Thanks for the listening. Please like, share, and subscribe our video.